And that would be it for taking care of those horrendous missions. Oh my god. Anyways, now that I'm at this point in the recording, hello everyone, this is ToadinWonderland, and welcome back to more of Let's Play Kirby Air Ride. Real quick, I'll explain. That mission took half an hour to complete. And in the process, I got 2 other missions cleared as well, which I'll leave like a small clip in that shows me clearing those specific objectives. And that is to cross the finish line with the fire ability, which is accomplished on Magma Flows, and defeat over 1,000 enemies, which just happens at some point during your playthrough of Air Ride mode until you eventually defeat 1,000 enemies. And by doing so, you unlock King Dedede as a playable character. Now then, as you just saw in that recording, I had the opportunity to get a naughty, but I was already equipped with the sword ability, and I really regret doing that. But at the same time, I was just so happy to get this one mission done. Finish 2 laps in under 2 minutes 1 second, and I believe I might have mistakenly said in the last recording that it was 1:59, but that is not true, because right here is the mission. It is, in fact, 2 minutes 1 second. But I'm so happy to have it done, and we completed this one, so we uncovered this, which is another time attack mission. The time attacks are going to suck when I get around to them. They really are. Because they're the other half, essentially, that I have not completed yet. And we're eventually going to have to do more missions where we have to do more free runs as well, and then there's others, which I'm about to hop into right now actually. I'm seeing a bunch where we have to swallow 20 enemies and take first place, so I'm going to up the number of laps for a few of these courses. I've only confirmed... oh, here's another time mission for the regular air ride mode I have to do yet, which I'm going to have to probably hop onto at some point. I've only been able to confirm, though, that there's some of these missions where you have to swallow a certain number of enemies. So, oh, yeah, there's BEANSTALK Park. Okay, I need to figure it out. There's 2 I counted so far. Oh, Strided Sleep ability. I was so close on that last course I just did. I'm only seeing Fantasy Meadows and BEANSTALK Park. Oh, and Checker Nights. It's there as well. Well, that makes 3, but I haven't counted any others. And there could be another one hidden under this panel here, and I just don't know it yet. So I think I'm going to go ahead and move right on to those courses. Fantasy Meadows. As I said, though, I'm going to increase the number of laps. I'm going to make it 7. Or no, that seems a bit high. Let's just make it... now we'll leave it at 7. 7's always lucky. Better safe than sorry. So... we're always good with the Swerve Star. And I see 2 people want to be King Dedede. Let's make them all King Dedede. Interesting choice of characters to race against, I suppose. But yeah, the purpose of this is all that I'm doing is swallowing 20 enemies. That is essentially the main objective, and I have to take first place, which should not be an issue with King Dedede, because King Dedede can easily be beaten with the Swerve Star in most circumstances. And I really need to be swallowing more enemies. I don't know if swallowing the caps and the cappies actually count or not. I really can't answer that as far as swallowing an enemy. And there's lovely lag, probably because there's a huge swarm of enemies in that one section. So yeah, you're probably noticing my voice is like a little dry right now. I still haven't gotten over, at the time I'm recording this, I was just at a thrift store a few days ago, and they had like mold of some kind in the store itself, and ever since I was there, it really affected my throat, because it made it sore, and for about a day, it wasn't like anything terrible, but it's still like lingering on a little bit, and it just needs to go away so that I can get 100%, but it's nothing like serious, which is a good thing, I suppose. Well, yeah, definitely, what am I saying? It's a good thing now, that didn't become something worse. But unfortunately, my commentary is going to suck balls because of that. And, oh, hello, Naughty. Too bad you weren't before the finish line for when I get to my last lap. And, oh gosh, I think that's the first time I ever caused that to happen. You can't swallow Scarfy enemies just like any other Kirby game. If you try to attempt so, they become really scary looking and then implode, leaving a small explosion behind that could potentially harm you. So don't do that if you can help it. And I missed that mic. I think they're called walkies. That's what the mic enemies are called. 6th lap already. Okay, I hope I swallowed enough enemies. I'm trying to get ones that aren't like copy abilities, because you can just go boom, 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 and then not be like stuck with the copy ability. I could definitely recommend that as a strategy if you're going to do missions like that. There's a ton of you around. I don't remember what those pincushion enemies are called. Pincushion. And there's no enemies left. Please tell me I didn't do all that for nothing. Please. Please, please, please. Oh, are you serious? Well, cutting out until I clear that mission, even if it takes me 10 laps to do so. Sorry about this, guys. I will be right back. There we go. I finally got it completed that time. I'm so sorry about that. Moving on, I noticed in the checklist there's one mission that involves us having to go through Frozen Hillside, so that we can complete a mission involving the busting of ice platforms, and I'm going to set it to 5 laps, again, just making sure that things go decently without too much of an issue. I don't think we'll have any problems by having the computers with those air ride machines. I'm going to focus on enemies again, as well as the Exhaled Stars mission and other miscellaneous things, because you probably saw me as I was going through the checklist. I mentioned about different things as I was moving along through it. It's just a lot of things that you have to go back, and with enough repetition, you get these missions done, because that's essentially what's left for half of, well, not exactly half, but around half of what's left on the checklist that I haven't fully completed yet. Okay, so again, this is more repetition, more boringness, so to say. The only point that you would want to watch this is if you're going to be a completionist and want to witness me actually going through everything, and if you'd like to know how to duplicate certain actions or how to manipulate things so that you can clear missions, and I am going to go back because I need to be on the upper level. I'm not worried about getting a fast time at the moment because, well, actually I don't know that I have to worry about that because I believe I have all those missions related to that already completed, except for what's in Time Attack and Free Run. So you want to try to split as many of those ice platforms on each lap as you can. That's why I turned around and went back on the ramp, so that I could have the ability to go up there when I got my distance to where I was at that point. Because otherwise you can't get up on the ice platforms unless you have a really good gliding air ride machine. Sword Knight is really bugging me. Of course, it probably got engulfed in those flames from the bomb that whoever had that used. I'm kind of missing stuff now. I need to not do that. Yeah, I really apologize about my throw right now. I'm going to say that like a bajillion times, but... Oh my god, did I... No! Turn around and go up the ramp. I don't want to go around it. I want to go up the ramp. Thank you. Seriously. I swear, I'm getting a little bit jinxed at this point of the LP because things are just taking longer than necessary to clear, because I feel like some of these missions should not normally be taking this much time. Or I would have had it completed an earlier date than right now. But whatever the case is, we're doing it right now, and we're gonna get it done. I keep saying we, but the reason I do that, and I think pretty much any Let's Player falls into this, but not that it's a bad thing, but the reason I say we a lot is because you kind of connect with the character of the video game that you're playing, not to mention I have the audience watching me as I play through this, so kind of a way, I guess, to make you feel more engaged, like you're actually here in person, like playing or witnessing me go through all of this, because in a sense, you are watching. And it's just a habit. I mean, it's human instinct to want to feel included, you know, incorporated into whatever activity that you notice, whether it be watching a Let's Play video, or just want to talk to someone at the park, or maybe you want to go bowling. I don't know where bowling came out of randomly. I guess because I was just bowling a couple days ago. And I sucked, by the way. My highest score was only 122. Of course, I've been out of practice for like almost a year. So I think that goes without saying that obviously I'm not going to have outstanding scores. 122 is nothing to brag about for bowling anyway, but it's alright. Again, not bragging rights, because obviously there are people way better than me that can get even higher scores than that. But for not playing in a while, I kind of expected I wouldn't like do outstandingly well. My record, for those who are curious, is 189. And on average, if I'm playing it consistently, I usually do get up into the 140s, 150s range, if I'm playing it consistently, like once a week or something like that. I just gotta stay in the game to be able to get a good score. Not to mention, I recently, well not recently because it was almost a year ago when I had to have this done, but I had to get a new bowling ball because my old one was actually chipping. Pieces were falling off of the ball itself, and it wasn't going to do that well at the bowling alley anymore. And I guess why it chipped was, there's actually more than one bowling alley I've went to in the past. There's one place that has kind of like low quality bowling lanes, so to say. Not to insult them or anything, but they're more antiquated, like you can tell they're older by being at the place. And I guess something happens where, like in the ball return, like conveyor belt or system, whatever it is, that brings your bowling ball back to you after you've thrown it down the lane. There might be something along those lines where it might get snagged or something and causes it to get chipped up, like I said. It's not a pretty sight. And I'm pretty sure the missions always say to take first place. And whoa, did you see that? King Dedede tried to take a swing at me with his hammer already, and the race just started. He's such a lousy cheater. And a sneak. You gotta watch out for King Dedede. He'll do whatever it takes to defeat Kirby, whether it be at a race or a boss fight. You'll do whatever you can to win. I guess it really doesn't matter which path I take, because the whole point of these races right now is to swallow tons of enemies. And 5 laps should be enough to get 20 enemies to swallow. If I can even get them. Jeez. I did not expect to get on that rail either. I was hoping I wouldn't, because the lower paths usually have the enemies. Stop skipping everything, jeez. The whole point's to get the enemies, not avoid them. I think I might have went into this discussion before, but I believe I said before that one of those paths might be a smidge longer. I think it is the right path. So I try to go that way as often as I can. Wow, that path actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Maybe it's because I had Wing Kirby, though. And speaking of which, the Warp Star seems to do good on this course. That's what my rival has. I'll have to keep that in mind for when the free run and time attack and other assorted missions comes around. I was thinking Wing Star actually was one of the better machines to use here, but maybe not. It also begs the question if the Jet Star does well. I've never really used the Jet Star on this course because I usually don't have it unlocked till like the end of the game, much like what my LP of this is going, because as you saw, it took me forever to unlock the Jet Star. So I don't know if it does well on this course or not. That honestly would be an experiment for me to try out with. And I'm not seeing a lot of enemies. Oh, there's a couple. A bunch of Bronto birds are around as well. Where did you come from? I didn't even see you. Ah, Red Kirby. Doing whatever you can to make me upset, I see. Right, there's Bronto Burt. I need to focus on the Exhaled Stars mission as well. That's what I was talking about in Frozen Hillside. So we eventually have to hit 100 enemies with Exhaled Stars, which that's cumulative. It just happens when it does. Or when it happens. Let me reword that. It happens when it's done, and it's cumulative, so it might just occur on this course. It might take me to the next course. It's hard to say, because I honestly have not been keeping track of that, nor do I know how someone really is supposed to, in their head anyway, because it's really hard to manage a bunch of, like, all the number calculations that go behind this game. It's much like Pokemon. It's all based on mathematics. And it's not that it's, like, hard, like the actual formulas or anything. Kirby Air Ride doesn't really have tons of formulas that I'm aware of anyway. But, like, games like Pokemon, they're not hard to figure out, like, if you're going to do, like, an EV calculation or IVs. It's basic algebra for some of them. Like, I know the IVs works that way. And even EVs, for that matter. It's pretty basic algebra, I would say. Or pre-algebra level. But there's just a lot to manage, because the whole system of Pokemon works on numbers. You know, it determines whether this Pokemon or this Pokemon or that Pokemon appears in the wild, if it's a shiny, if it's male or female, what its personality value is, all that good stuff. It's all based on numbers. And probability. Can't forget that term. So yeah, some basic statistics and I'd say, like I said, basic pre-algebra, some algebra concepts. And it's not difficult. It's just a lot to remember. And I do know, maybe it's just because of the way my brain works, but a lot of people I know, around where I live anyway, hate math. They cannot stand it whatsoever. I don't mind it, and I actually do decent with it. I can understand some of it. Now, when it comes to pre-calculus or anything beyond that, forget it, because some of it I can't figure out unless I get, like, assistance with it, or just don't take it, because in all honesty, my major doesn't require anything beyond college algebra. And did I seriously not get anything accomplished through that whole spiel. BRB, yet again. I'll be back, guys. Back again, guys, and it took a little bit, but 7 laps I eventually did get over 20 enemies, and in the process I was able to quick spin into enough computer players. I did confirm that you can spin into the same computer more than once in order for the requirement to count. The mission is to spin into your rivals 20 or more times. You can hit them more than once during the same race, and it'll still go toward the total. I'll have a little snippet in to show this. I don't know if it'll show me hitting the same person twice or not, but I at least want to put it in the part where it shows me spinning into the rival. Quick spinning, so to say.